That's not good.
What's not good? Did your tie come off?
No. So today I'm going to be swapping out my harmonic balancer in my 2JZ GE. I believe the 2JZ GTE and the 1Js are the same. Yeah, mine decided to give up the ghost after multiple years of abuse, and she'd let go. None good. So I'm replacing it with an OEM replacement, and I also got myself a new bolt as well, just for peace of mind. Now I am hoping to get this done without having to remove the radiator and draining it, all that sort of stuff. See how we go for space. There's a fair bit of space there. Yeah, time will tell. And for anyone interested, that's the OEM part number. So I must apologise because I had filmed myself taking all this stuff off. However, the file somehow corrupted and is now unusable. So yes, we're running. I've taken off the fan and the shroud, hoping that's all I have to take off. But yeah, let's get to removing this bad boy. Okay, so got the bolt out, the crank bolt. That was a bit of a bitch. It was 22mm. 22mm head on it. All I did was put a breaker bar on it and locked the car into 5th gear, chocked the back wheels, handbrake on, everything to try to stop the car moving, and rotated it that way. It took a bit, got it. The more leverage the better. But yeah, just feel like you're gonna snap it, keep going, and you'll be right. Mine come off relatively carefree. Just took a bit of elbow grease, but we got her. So now we've put our removal tool in, our pulley removal tool. So on these, you've got your 2 holes. I just used the small bolts that was in the kit that I'm borrowing off a friend. Yeah, so they're in there. I'll try to get it in there so you can actually see what's going on. Yeah, essentially that big thread is going through the guts of it, pushing against the actual crankshaft. Those bolts there are locking it into place, and the whole thing, as that thread tightens up, pulls that out. Yeah, you'll see that very shortly. You should be able to see as we do this. Get on there. So I'm going to tighten this, which is going to pull that off. And as you can see, that's pulling that off perfectly. So now the whole thing's loose. Remove that, and should be able to wiggle that out. Et voila. So he's out. He's ready to go. So as you can see, she's off. All we need to do is get the other one, put that on the same place. You can see that keyway there. That little keyway, that's what lines up. That little jigger. That's what lines up where your positioning is. So you can't really mess it up. Right, so that went on very, very easy. Nice and simple. Yeah, as you saw, just line that keyway up and put your bolt in and pull it, yeah, do that bolt up to pull it in nice and square. Very easy. Right, now to torque it. So from my research online, I found that the crank bolt runs 330 newton meters of torque. So what you want to do is basically set up your torque wrench to 330 and try to spin it that way. So as you can see, I've chocked the rear tyre. Again, she's in fifth and handbrake on. Just trying to stop any sort of other movement that's going to happen. And then yeah, you should just basically be able to tighten her up. There, you set her up. Obviously to tighten, set your torque settings up, which is done on 330, 22mm. Slap her on there and give her the herbs till it clicks. Beautiful. So now that's done, all we need to really do is put that belt back on, or put that pulley back on, put the fan back on, radiator shroud, hook that back up, and she's job done. So when it comes to putting your belt back on, you've got, obviously it goes around there. To get that last piece, that last bit around, just need to get a 14mm on there, on a socket, twist it down, that'll move and give you free tension to wrap around the AC pump at the bottom there. But the orientation goes around the crank pulley, up around the tensioner, back down under there to the alternator, up over the water pump, over the power steering, down to the AC and back to the crank. So to do that, I'm going to need another pair of hands. So yeah, as you go to do it, just get your 14mm, untighten, get that on there, pull that. As you do that, you can see it loosens off the belt. So you push down on that, which then allows you to get that bottom bit on. Make sure it's all around where it needs to go. All nice and around that. And once you're certain you're on, let it go. It's all tensioned. So essentially from here on in, it's just a replacement, just putting everything back on where it goes, bolting it up, put that hose back on where it needs to go, and yeah, it should be right to start it and drive it. See how this goes. Everything's running as it should. Yeah, boy.